Commander Zethkar of the Valerian Empire stared at the tactical display with growing disbelief. The human fleet had just executed another impossible maneuver, one that defied every principle taught at the Galactic Military Academy. Worse yet, it was working. "Sir," his tactical officer chittered nervously, "the humans have somehow convinced the Drakmori fleet to fire on the Centaurian vessels. 3 of our allied ships are down." The Academy had been very clear in its assessment. Human military doctrine was chaotic, unpredictable, and fundamentally flawed. After humanity's first crushing defeat at the Battle of Proxima, the Galactic Council had banned most human tactical innovations as unsporting and contrary to civilized warfare. No more ambush tactics, no more psychological warfare, no more of their peculiar habit of turning enemies against each other. The humans had agreed to the restrictions with surprising grace, their Admiral Sarah Chen signing the warfare conduct protocols without protest. That should have been Zethkar's first warning. "Update on the human formation?" he demanded. "Sir, they appear to be playing tag." Zethkar's 4 eyes narrowed. "Explain." On the holographic display, the human ships darted between the much larger alien vessels in patterns that seemed almost playful. A human destroyer would zip close to a Valerian dreadnought, barely avoiding weapons fire, then streak away toward a Drakmori battlecruiser. The aliens would give chase, firing frantically, often hitting each other in the process. Admiral Chen's voice crackled across the comm channels, broadcast to all fleets. "Marco." The response came from her scattered ships. "Polo." And suddenly, every human vessel changed direction simultaneously, converging on the Centaurian flagship like metal, filings drawn to a magnet. "How are they coordinating without tactical networks?" Zethkar's communications officer asked, mandibles clicking in confusion. The answer came from the tactical display as another pattern emerged. The human ships weren't just moving randomly, they were playing an ancient children's game. Marco Polo, the intelligence files called it, a simple game where one player closed their eyes and tried to catch others by following sound alone. But the humans had weaponized it. By calling and responding, they created a real-time positioning system that their enemies couldn't decode or jam. The Centaurians, focused on the seemingly random human movements, never saw the coordinated strike coming. "Sir," another transmission from the humans, the communications officer reported. Admiral Chen's voice filled the bridge again. "Red light." Every human ship stopped dead, their engines cutting out completely. The alien fleets, caught off guard by the sudden halt, overshot their targets by thousands of kilometers. The humans hung motionless in space for exactly 10 seconds. "Green light." The human fleet exploded into motion, every ship accelerating, at maximum burn toward predetermined targets. It was another children's game. Red light, green light, turned into a devastatingly effective tactical maneuver. Zethkar watched in growing horror as his carefully coordinated alliance fell apart. The Drakmori were firing on shadows, the Centaurians were chasing ghosts, and his own vessels kept getting caught in crossfire. "Sir, the humans are forming up in a new pattern," his tactical officer reported. "It looks like a circle." On the display, the human ships arranged themselves in a perfect circle around the largest concentration of alien vessels. Zethkar's blood chilled as he realized what they were doing. "Duck, duck, goose," he whispered, the human phrase tasting strange on his forked tongue. The human ships began moving around the circle, each one tapping an alien vessel with a light weapons. Burst, duck, duck, duck. When Admiral Chen's flagship reached the massive Valerian command ship, she fired a full spread of missiles. "Goose!" Her voice rang out across all frequencies. Every human ship broke from the circle simultaneously, each one pairing off with an alien vessel and engaging in high-speed pursuit. But this wasn't random chaos. It was a perfectly coordinated assault that divided the superior alien forces and neutralized their numerical advantage. "How?" Zethkar demanded. "How are they defeating us with children's games?" His intelligence officer, a young Altarian with nervous tics, spoke up hesitantly. "Sir, I've been analyzing their tactics. These aren't just games, they're training, exercises. Human children learn coordination, timing, spatial awareness, and group dynamics through play. What we saw as primitive entertainment, they see as fundamental military education. The tactical display showed the brutal effectiveness of that education. The human fleet, outnumbered 3-1, had turned the engagement into dozens of individual duels where their superior ship handling and pilot training gave them the advantage. They're using hide-and-seek now, the tactical officer reported with defeat heavy in his voice. Half their ships have gone dark and the other half are seeking. Our sensor operators can't track them all. Admiral Chen's final transmission cut through the chaos of battle. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. The hidden human ships decloaked simultaneously, surrounding the remnants of the alien fleet. But instead of firing, they simply waited. The implication was clear. Surrender now, or face annihilation. Zethkar stared at his shattered alliance, at ships limping away with hulls breached and pride broken. The humans had done the impossible. They'd turned playground games into weapons of war. He opened a channel to Admiral Chen. How? He asked. Simply. Her reply came with what he'd learned to recognize as human amusement. Commander, you banned our advanced tactics, so we went back to basics. Every human child learns these games. They teach us to work together, to think creatively, to turn rules into advantages. You wanted civilized warfare? Congratulations, you just lost to kindergartners. As Zethkar ordered the retreat, he made a mental note. The next revision of the warfare conduct protocols would need to be much, much longer. The humans, it seemed, had an entire childhood's worth of deadly games yet to teach the galaxy.